Easy now, my peeps. Angry Dale here, and I've discovered something wonderful. Frankly, it's changed my life. It's opened my mind to galaxies beyond our own and worlds to adventure. It is, of course, Starbound, which has changed my life, and I wanted to share this masterpiece of a video game with you guys. If you don't know anything about it already, it's pretty similar to Terraria. I say that tentatively because it's much better than Terraria in my humble opinion. But yeah, well, you'll find out in a minute. Terraria was just a bit boring, frankly, whereas this is fucking sick. Check this out. I'm going to zoom in a little bit to begin with. That's me. This is my base. So if you're familiar with Terraria, you'll know you can build bases and Minecraft as well. There's loads of crafting options. So this is like my crafting station. All this shit here is for making stuff, for refining ores or whatever. But I'm pretty much kitted out at the moment, so I don't need to do anything in there at the moment. This is my storage room. So I've got all my guns here. I've got all my kind of furniture and stuff here, and then I've got all my building blocks here, and these are storage crates in these crates. That's plants and seeds. They're also trees, should I say. Saplings. This is kind of random stuff that I've picked up. The cows are just chilling, don't worry about them. And this is all just for show, really. There's some more crafting stations here. So these are like the more high-tech ones. Mannequins that you can dump your clothes. So I can, there we go, let me move that out of the way so you can see. I can dump my clothing on there cosmetically and switch it around. So if I want to be this kind of scary Princess Frog Beast thing, I can, or I can go back to fake Batman. Go with fake Batman. I like this. It's my bed, chilling. Got all my clothes and stuff stored in there. These are armor items. So these ones all have buffs on them, like that, you know, sword 45%, etc. Whereas these are just purely cosmetically. But one of the nice things about the game, and you know, you get this in all these sort of games, I would imagine anyway. But you've got your stuff that you wear as armor, and then you can wear stuff on top aesthetically, and it doesn't affect the armor. So yeah, I kind of purposely went with the Batman look, painted my cape black. That was red originally, and the mask. And yeah, there I am, looking pretty fucking awesome, if I do say so myself. And this is my kitchen. So I got all my fridges in here. Not that exciting, really, is it? But when you realise how complicated it is to build all this stuff, and I've got fucking shitloads of supplies, basically. These kind of raw ingredients, and then this is the finished product. And you've got two different types of cooking stations. You've got the kitchen counter, and then you've got the kind of basic standard issue oven. And they do different things, and you need to have both. And that's where I store all of my cooking ingredients, the stuff that never goes off. You don't need to put it in the fridge. All this stuff will perish if you don't leave it in the fridge. So I've partly done that so that I could get a load of money together. So if I go to my little mini bank here, I have approximately 70,000 in storage there, and another 2,000 pixels. That's the currency of Starbound. But what happens is when you die, early in the game, when you die, your pixels get, like, you just fucking lose loads. They get divided into three, so you're left with a third every time, which is really annoying. Or you lose a third, I don't know what it is. But basically, you don't want to die when you've got money on you. So quite progressed in the game now, I guess. Not massively, but about halfway through the kind of ore trail, should we say. You get this, and you can convert your pixels into these blocks that I've just shown you in my safe, these things, and then you don't lose them when you die. So really fucking important to get that one if you want to start saving money up. Because the ship upgrades, they're bloody expensive. I'm on, I hope, the final upgrade, which is 150 grand. And that's like the 4th upgrade. I'll show you my ship in a minute. Looked at that yet. So yeah, anyway, these are the crafting stations. This one you can kind of, these are the advanced ones. These ones you can pretty much make any item you've scanned. So you have to scan it with this thing. And when you hover over something, if you've never scanned it before, it will appear in blue. Because I've scanned these before, they're in red. If they're green, they're like mission things that you have to scan. But anyway, that's the idea of that one. So scan as much stuff as possible, and then you should, in theory, be able to print it off using pixels rather than crafting items, which is a lot more long-winded and complicated. That's Pet Station. I haven't used that yet, but that's for like capturing. It's basically Pokemon. You get a ball, you capture a pet, and then you train it. So yeah, Pokemon station. This is a wiring station for anything electrical in the game. I haven't dabbled in this yet. Now, this is something that I think when you progress far into the game, you're going to want to do. Like when you're building your fortresses or whatever, you want to put a load of this stuff in. And I tell you what, it is pretty... I can't do anything at the moment, but I can show you just the switches and gates alone. So this is like a proper electrical engineering setup with delay gates and switches, all switches, etc, etc. So anyone that's ever studied electrical engineering can probably do some pretty fucking amazing things with this, and if you haven't, then you can still, you know, have a play around with it and see what you can come up with. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, but I'm not really at that stage of the game yet. I still want to progress in the game as such, and get all the, you know, good items and things before I start doing all this shit. And here we've just got Switch consoles and things like that. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's going to be good fun, but I'm not quite there yet. There's a rail station as well, so you can build like a railway with rail sensors and all sorts of things. Again, haven't looked at it whatsoever. Gonna have a look at it at some point. Looking forward to it. Bit excited, to be honest, but not quite there yet. So anyway, back to my sort of base. So this is the farm, and this is kind of so you get two types of crops. You get ones that grow cooking ingredients that aren't perishable, like wheat, for example, and you get ones that are perishable. Now, my non-perishables, I only grow wheat, and the reason for that is I kind of only grow a select number of ingredients and things for different recipes. But this is for one recipe. This here and everything below is for one recipe called a salt salad. It's a high-end salad. It's all about the high-end salads. And this is for, what is it? Fucking spooky donuts. Spooky donuts. So that, you need cow's milk and stuff as well, which I can't scroll down far enough, but there's cows in there that I get them off of, and eggs and things. This is kind of just a bit of random stuff, to be honest. This one makes cyanide, which is, again, a high-end drink that you can make. I actually think it's probably the best thing in the game to make if you just want to make a load of money and have a good buff item that gives you food, because your food here in yellow, when it runs out, you die. You start losing health, then you die. But this is just two ingredients, so just that and that, so it doesn't take up much floor space if you look at the actual amount of floor that you need. That and that, and it's a high-end item that gives you, I think it gives you health buff, and something else, like Berserker type buff. So yeah, but I haven't got enough of these things here, pus plumes. I've got loads of these, but I haven't got enough of those pus plumes, and that's like the item that we need. So I wonder if I scan those, if I can print the seeds. That would be fucking sweet. I don't think you can, but you can see there, like the ones that are blue, once I've scanned one of them, it scans all of them. Which is obviously quite a useful feature, because it means you then know when you're playing a game, when you're running around with this thing, if you want to be able to craft an item, whether or not you already own it. Kiwis, we're having those. Oh shit, didn't mean to do that, never mind. There you go, first bit of action for you. I should probably point out I live on the planet, or this base I built on the planet that I originally started the game on, so it's not very difficult. Like the baddies and things are hard, a lot harder on other planets. However, I am of the understanding that so with those Pokemon Ball things that I haven't used yet, I think you can capture like high-end beasts from other planets and then basically chuck them on your planet and they'll start breeding. Or they'll just, you know, stay there. Right, I'm just going to show you... Might as well do this while I'm here. So those kiwi fruits that I just picked up, they mix with the grapes and the bananas. I'm not going to collect all these because I don't need all of them. You've got to replant the pineapples. So certain foods and veg and things you have to replant. Other stuff you don't. You just do it once and then it just keeps growing back. So like these things, you just pick them off, berries off. Well, anyway, I'm going to make the fruit salad, which I don't have all the ingredients for. Where have my kiwis gone? Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. There were no fruit. There was only seeds. That is bullshit. Oh, see, this happens sometimes when you grow plants. I'm actually quite annoyed about that. I can get that. That's good. Get one of those. I don't really need these, but I've just got a fridge full of them at the moment. That is really annoying. So I pick those. Sometimes what happens is the fruit will fall like underneath, but it only seems to do that when there's a wall up against it. which there isn't, obviously, on that one. So I think we just got 2 seeds, which sucks balls. Like, if it gave me an extra seed, fair enough, but no fruit from 2 plants and no extra seeds, that is fucking rubbish, frankly. So it might have something to do with the growing conditions. I doubt it, but I haven't kind of explored that far into the game yet to know whether or not those sort of things make a difference. Right, cyanida. So this is what I was talking about. It's made from these 2 items. It's quite expensive, but it gives you a really good buff. I'm sure it used to be more expensive than that. Well, we can't, unfortunately, we can't make the... just going to eat that so I don't die. That was my health thing buzzing there, if you're wondering. Unfortunately, we can't make the fruit salad because I haven't got the kiwis. So this is the ingredients for the fruit salad. I can kind of restock for next time, I guess. But yeah, it's not great. Well, I can make ape grapes, which are quite good. So go here, ape grapes. Again, I mean, the point in this is not really for sustenance. It's to make money. So all this stuff, you make it and then you sell it. Simple as that. You don't bother to eat it. All I ever really eat, you can carry rice around with you and it doesn't go off, so it's a very good item for like long missions. And waffles, so I don't have any potatoes here. I'll show you in a minute because I'm growing some on my spaceship rather awesomely. But I just didn't see the point in growing them down here because I normally go to my spacecraft before I go on a mission anyway. So here you go. Here's an example of one shipment. That's about 800 pixels. To put things into perspective, late game you need to buy really high-end items. It would be like 100 grand, say. But a normal item, like a good weapon or something, would be about 3,000 to 5,000. So it pretty much means I'm constantly able to buy any new items in the game. I'm saving up at the moment for the spacecraft upgrade. Right, let's show you that now, actually. So, click that. Go to my spaceship. I love this. So I have got, so far, a little garden going on in the bottom there. So I should probably point out this. When you start the game, the spaceship is this big. Literally, just that bit there. Then it extends out back, that bit, and then you get an extra floor here and here, and then you get an extra floor above, below, which is this one, which isn't really being used at the moment. So this is just furniture I've put in it. It's not being used for anything. Same with that. I mean, in the game generally, it makes sense to have your crafting stations, storage, and a farm on your spacecrafts, purely so you don't ever have to leave it. Basically, you can just go on missions on this because when you travel around. I'll go to my desktop here. So when you travel around this universe, the universe of StarCraft, it's essentially, as far as I'm aware anyway, it's infinite. So if you go absolutely fucking miles away somewhere, you might even forget where you were. And if you forget where you were, the chances you find it again, if you haven't bookmarked it, you can bookmark. So I've got Home Sweet Home, which is my original base, and the one I just showed you, and that's where it is. It's in this constellation, Martian Prime, right in the middle of the map. That's the coordinates for it. But if I didn't have that bookmark and I'd gone off missions somewhere, I'd never fucking find it again in a million years. So really important you bookmark your home if you're going to have a home base, and then when you get on your spacecraft, it doesn't really matter where you go because you've bookmarked it. You can always go back there, but the idea is you're meant to put a teleporter there. So there's 2 types of teleporter in this game. There's this one. If I show you the flag, which basically that flag, when I plant it and I then click on it, I put it down, I click on it, it's new bookmark. I can enter the bookmark, and then so if I just put it ship, okay, and if I go to my teleporter, here, there we go, and I can teleport to it, and it will take me there. Completely pointless, but just to demonstrate what it actually does. So I'm not going to do that, obviously. But the thing is, I can't teleport from that flag to anywhere. I can only teleport to the flag. So if you're digging very deep down, or you're in a very awkward place to get out of because you can't teleport when you're underground, you really want to place one of these. I can't move this one because this is like the one that comes with the spaceship, but you can buy these. You need a teleport core, which is a rare item, and about 3 grand to buy them. The thing is with them, because obviously what you'd think, oh, just buy one, destroy it, and then move it. So this little thing here is what I destroy everything with, so I can destroy something and then put it back. But with those particular items, you cannot do that. So the teleporters, you cannot destroy one and then teleport back. What happens when you destroy it is that the core, the item that you needed to build it, drops out, but you lose the $3,000 that it cost you to build them. But you know what? If you're farming a lot and money's not really an issue, it's worth doing, and it just saves you fucking around, you know, teleporting to and from places. So anyway, as I say, get your garden in your spaceship. I don't think that's probably the best place for the garden, but it fulfills a purpose for me. I've got 2 fridges up here and a cooking station. So that microwave's the same as the oven I had before, and the cooking station is exactly the same. And then I've got a fridge full of waffles, which is what I take on my mission, and a fridge full of spooky donuts. I normally take a couple of those as a buff, because they're like a berserker buff, plus health as well. Sustenance, should I say. And then in here we've got all our seeds. I've got watering cans, no point, because I've got sprinklers, you can see here. Again, this is quite a late game item. You need Durasteel to build them, but well worth the money and the Durasteel when you do, because it just automates things. Get your money back quickly from growing things, selling them. So I've got a couple of seeds in there, which are just, you know, you get extra seeds sometimes when you take the plants up. And I've got my corn and sugar supplies there. This never goes off, so there's no need to put it in a fridge. Anything that's called a cooking ingredient like that appears there, you don't need to put it in a fridge. And then I've got cows and chickens. So the reason I've got these is to make the spooky donuts, you've got to have cow's milk and eggs. So this bit here, those are to make the spooky donuts. That there is just purely sustenance for this fridge. I mean, it's overkill. I don't need that much. I don't need a full fridge. Every time you go on a mission, I would say you don't really need to take more than 8 waffles with you if you're planning on going away for, like, you know, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. You'll find stuff as you go anyway. You can carry rice or wheat around with you. As long as you've got a campfire, which is a craftable item, you can, you know, just pop it down and use that whenever. And that's a good tactic for when you're going on long missions. So there we go. Anyway, that's just kind of an introduction to the game. Go back to my yard. The game and how it really benefits to have a decent base set up. You don't have to do this, admittedly. You know, you can just play the game. Food-wise, you can collect stuff as you go. You can just stay in your spaceship. But it just makes life a lot easier. And if, like me, you're a bit OCD with your crafting and collecting things, you like things nicely organised, it makes it a lot easier. So in my crafting room, you know, these are like the normal crafting items, rare, very rare or uncommon rare, should I say, and legendary. That's all my core fragments are gold, silver, tungsten, Durasteel, etc. These are kind of ingredients that are material based, so sand, poison, technically core fragment isn't, but I just put that in there as well. So yeah, it just, you know, it makes life a lot easier when you do this. You don't have to do it. Mine's probably a little bit over the top. It's not really this much need for, you know, like the cooking stuff and all that, but I just like to have it like that. I'm just going to show you one last thing before I clock off here. So I've basically got my farm and my crafting station, you know, a bit of decoration here and there, but the other element is you really want to build apartments and then you get tenants. Now, you see these little things here, you can buy these from the teleshop. So that's like the space-based thing. I'm not going to bother showing you that. I'm sure you know what that is, or if you play the game for 2 minutes, you'll work it out. But yeah, you buy these off one of the dealers there, and then you put them in a house. But the house has to have, it doesn't have to have a bathroom. I just put that in for aesthetics. But it's got to be fully sealed, so not just the outer wall, but the inside wall as well. And it's got to have a door on it. And then you put a few bits of furniture in there. Obviously, you need a bed, whatever else. The tenants that occupy these places will be relative to the furniture that you put in. So if you go and get very high-end, expensive furniture, your tenant is going to be likely to give you more money for rent or give you better items. So I've not. This is not an element I've really progressed. So when I started the game, I went to a Floran camp, which is like the first sort of group of people you come across, and I just nicked some of their stuff and stuck it in here. But yeah, really, I need to update all this. When you do update it, you destroy these, or you know, pull them down, put them back up again, and you get a new tenant. If you don't destroy them, the old tenant will stay, and then you can start upgrading stuff. And also, these people will join your forces. So if I click on him, no, he's not interested. But you'll get people that want to join your crew, basically. You'll get guys like him that sell stuff. Oh, that's quite good, actually. Oh my days, I did not know he sold those. Anyway, so you can get stuff from there, and again, if you get the right sort of tenants in. Now, ideally what you want to do is set up rooms from every type of camp and village and thing that there are, so you get every type of person, and that way you'll be exposed to all the different items that they offer you, because they all offer different things. So I've got those apartments there. I've got these ones. I haven't even done anything with these yet. Let's go down here and show you. So I've got another apartment there, or a couple of apartments there. Another one here. So I'm going to kit these out. These are going to be a bit more swanky than those other ones, and I'll see what sort of tenants they bring. I'm not sure if the background on the wall make any difference, but you know, again, it's probably worth. Made of solid gold, and you've got everything in there's well expensive. You're probably going to get a better tenant, but I've not actually tested that. I will at some point, and I'll post a video on it. But for the time being, I don't know. It's my lava pit. So when water, that's magma. When water hits lava, that's what you get, magma. It's intentionally supposed to look like, oh, it's fucking up. It's intentionally supposed to look like the lava's touching you. You die. Trap, but obviously it's not. I'm about to starve here. I haven't got any food, so I'm not even going to bother to walk back. I'll just teleport. Let's give it a munch. So this is why it's good to have waffles on tap. You saw how much that shot up. It gives me health buff as well. So my health, I think, was 140. It's now 168. Yeah, it's a good item all around. You can get health packs, EPP modules on these things as well. Which give you more bonus. I haven't got one on there at the moment, but they give you more bonus as well. So, right guys, that was probably quite a lot of information to jam in a small session, but I hope that gives you a kind of idea of what this game is about in terms of the base building sort of thing, and just the basic mechanics of it. Obviously, again, as I say, if you're familiar with Terraria, you're gonna understand there's a large underground element like this. You have to go farming, you have to dig for ore. I tend to do the same thing on every map, which is build a massive tunnel like this going straight down, and then you know, farm at the different levels. There's, I think, 4 different levels. You've got at the very far bottom, there's like a core level which is made of cobblestone, so it's hard to dig. It's got a lot of ore in there, so copper, silver, gold, and whatever the ore is for that particular map. So you get, it's either going to be titanium, durasteel, I can't think of the names of the other ones, ferronium or something like that, and ferrosium. But yeah, you always get that stuff down the bottom. The layer above it tends to have the most enemies but the highest rewards, so again, a lot of gold and things like that. There's a level above that which has a lot of chests in and little bases, and sometimes people live in there, and then it's got a level above that which is the well, it's the level here basically, which is kind of basic. There's never normally that many good power-ups. There's a few beasties, but nothing too challenging. So yeah, and if you go straight up, I'm not going to go up there now because it takes absolutely ages. No, I haven't. I thought I put a flag up there, but I haven't. But if I just show you the ladder so you get an idea of it, basically you can go straight up this ladder here, and it goes all the way to the top of the map, literally the top of the screen. You get to outer space, you get to like a meteor bit, and if you fall off, you're in trouble, which I have done many a time, which is why I built this big water pool thing here. So you can just dive straight off of it and land in the water, and that depth will support you. So basically there's an infinite, not infinite, but there's a height cap. Once you go beyond it, you need a certain depth of water, and that is enough for any height that you jump off of. So I think what I'm going to do at some point as well is just build a fucking massive pool, sort of either this way or the other, and see if I can land in it from the top of that for shits and giggles. But again, that's for another time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was intended to be educational, if anything. So yeah, if you learned something from this, great. I'm still learning how to play the game myself. As I say, I'm not that far into it yet, but I'm going to persevere, and I'm really getting into this one. I can see me playing this one for a long time. It's got a lot of substance to it, and infinite options, essentially, because it's an infinite universe. So yeah, anyway, if there's anything in particular you want to see, or if there's anything that you think I should know about that I don't and should go and have a look at, then give me a shout, and I'll try and post a video along those lines.